The letters kept arriving even after the man accused of writing them was locked in solitary confinement, with no pen, no paper, and no mail privileges. Circleville, Ohio. Population, 11,000. Starting in 1976, thousands of anonymous letters flooded this quiet farm town, all postmarked from Columbus, all written in the same crude block capitals. And every single one contained a secret, a hidden affair, a padded expense account, a lie told behind closed doors. Whoever was writing them didn't just know the town's gossip. They knew things that were never spoken out loud, things people had only whispered in their own bedrooms. Before it was over, one man would be dead. A woman would stare down the barrel of a booby-trapped pistol, and an innocent man might have spent 10 years in prison. The letter writer watched all of it happen, and to this day, no one knows who they were. But to understand how a stack of envelopes destroyed a town, you have to start with one woman, a school bus driver named Mary Gillispie. In the spring of 1976, Mary Gillispie was living an ordinary life. She drove a school bus for the Westfall district, was married to a man named Ron, and raised her kids in a farmhouse outside Circleville. Then the first letter arrived in her mailbox. Block capitals, Columbus postmark. It accused her of having an affair with the school superintendent, Gordon Massey, and it demanded she end it, or the writer would expose her to the entire town. Mary was terrified, but she told no one. Then Ron got a letter of his own. It told him his wife was cheating, and it threatened his life and his children's lives if he didn't stop it. Here's the detail that should make your skin crawl. The letters referenced private conversations, schedules, movements. The writer knew when Mary left her house. They knew what route her bus took. Ron and Mary made a decision. They'd keep it secret and quietly investigate. They came to believe they knew exactly who was writing the letters. Remember that suspicion, because it's about to get someone killed. August 19, 1977. The phone rang in the Gillispie farmhouse. Mary was away, so Ron answered. Whatever the caller said made him grab his pistol, load his kids into a neighbor's care, and tell them he was going to confront the letter writer, face to face. He got into his pickup truck and drove off into the summer evening. He never came back. Ron's truck was found less than a mile from his home, smashed into a tree. He was dead at the scene. And here's where the story fractures. The sheriff, Dwight Radcliffe, ruled it a drunk driving accident. Ron's blood alcohol was reportedly 1.5 times the legal limit. But people who saw Ron that night swore he was stone-cold sober. There were no skid marks consistent with the crash. And one detail that investigators could never explain. Ron's gun had been fired, once, before the crash. Who did Ron Gillispie shoot at on that dark country road? Who called his house that night? The case was closed as an accident. The town moved on. The letter writer didn't. After Ron's death, the letters spread like an infection. The sheriff got them. School officials got them. Ordinary residents opened their mailboxes to find their own secrets typed back at them in those same block capitals. Thousands of letters over the following years. Then the writer escalated from paper to signs. Crude, obscene signs began appearing along Mary's bus route, taunting her about the alleged affair, some targeting her young daughter. On February 7, 1983, Mary finally snapped. She stopped the bus, got out, and ripped one of the signs down. Attached to it was a small box. Inside the box was a loaded pistol rigged with twine to fire directly at whoever pulled the sign free. The only reason Mary Gillispie is alive is that the booby trap malfunctioned. Now police had something the letters never gave them: physical evidence. They traced the gun's serial number. Someone had tried to file it off, but not well enough. It belonged to Paul Freshour, Mary's own brother-in-law. The exact man Ron and Mary had suspected from the very beginning. Case closed, right? Not even close. Paul Freshour was an unlikely villain, a supervisor at Anheuser-Busch with no criminal record. but the evidence stacked up fast. The gun was his. He admitted it, but claimed it had been stolen from his home. A handwriting analyst had him copy the letters, and then concluded his writing matched. In 1983, Paul was convicted of attempted murder and sentenced to 7 to 25 years. Circleville breathed a sigh of relief. The nightmare was over, except it wasn't, because the letters kept coming. From Columbus, in the same block capitals, while Paul Freshour sat in a prison cell over 100 miles away. Prison officials ran an experiment. They cut off his mail, monitored everything he touched, and eventually placed him in solitary confinement. No pen, no paper, no contact. The letters didn't even slow down. And then came the moment that turns this case from strange to genuinely chilling. Paul Freshour himself received a letter in prison. It read, in part, "Now when are you going to believe you aren't going to get out of there? I told you 2 years ago. When we set 'em up, they stay set up. We set 'em up." Think about what that letter means. Either Paul Freshour orchestrated an impossibly elaborate scheme from inside solitary confinement, or the real writer was still out there, gloating about framing him. And the deeper you dig, the worse it gets. Paul had a documented alibi for the day the booby trap was planted. Witnesses reported seeing a different man near the sign that day, driving a car that reportedly resembled one connected to Mary's circle. The handwriting analysis. Paul was told to copy the letters exactly, a method experts now say is practically designed to produce a false match. Even the parole board seemed to sense something was wrong. Yet when Paul became eligible, the letter writer mailed the board directly, urging them to keep him locked up. In May 1994, after 10 years, Paul Freshour walked free. And that same year, the TV show Unsolved Mysteries came to town. Shortly after, the producers received a postcard. Block capitals, Columbus postmark. It read, "Forget Circleville, Ohio. If you come to Ohio, you El Sickos will pay." And then, after 18 years and thousands of letters, the writing simply stopped, forever. So who wrote the Circleville letters? Some still believe it was Paul Freshour all along, perhaps with an accomplice on the outside. Others point to a family member with access, motive, and intimate knowledge of everyone involved. Some suspect it was never one person at all, but a partnership. Remember, the prison letter said "we," and the darkest theory of all, that the writer was someone official, someone with access to records, schedules, private information, someone the town trusted. That would explain how they knew everyone's secrets. It might explain why Ron's death was ruled an accident so quickly. Paul Freshour spent the rest of his life fighting to clear his name, running a website proclaiming his innocence until he died in 2012. The case remains open. The writer was never identified. And here's the thought that should follow you to sleep tonight. Whoever they were, they lived among those people. Sat next to them in church, waved at them in the grocery store, watched them open the mail. What do you think really happened in Circleville? Drop your theory in the comments, and if you want more cases like this, you know what to do. Thousands of people watch this case unfold and still can't explain what happened. But the next mystery we covered? Even the experts walked away shaking their heads. Subscribe and hit that bell. A new mystery drops every single day.